What's going on, YouTube? JT is reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Titans issue number 1, written by, of course, by Mr. Tom Taylor and art by Nicola Scott. And yes, let's go ahead and get started to talking about this thing. So the other day, I put a community post out there and I asked everyone if I should go ahead and cover this issue, and the overwhelming demand was yes, go for it. Some people were very hesitant about it given that Tom Taylor's track record, and this is the Titans, and I know I have a lot of Raven fans who are subscribers, but yeah, so I think this issue is going to leave a lot of people kind of divided on it. Some people will probably like it, and others will probably come away saying, that's it. This is the team that's supposed to replace the Justice League, and other people will be like, oh, that's kind of cringy. And yeah, I mean, me personally, I wasn't a huge fan of this particular issue. Again, Dark Crisis established, hey, we got to disband the Justice League, which is a really stupid thing to do, mind you, after a whole crisis level events. And it's like, okay, Titans, we're not going to do anything anymore. You guys go ahead and take over. It's your turn now. Okay, disbanding the Justice League is done, but this is the team that's supposed to replace the Justice League, so they should be getting, what, the Justice League level threats, and that's not really the case with this particular thing. And also, they've been teasing the death of a character, the death of a Titan, and the one that they showcased dying, I'm going to put that in quotation marks because given DC's history, like, characters almost never stay dead, unless, of course, you're Alfred right now, or it's just going to be kind of rectified like an issue or two later. But if they actually go through and kill this particular character off, then I understand fans giving away, like, the middle finger to this particular issue, because the character that they choose to do so just left me groaning, because I'm like, oh, this is the one character who has a good book going on. So I'm going to get into spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, I suggest you click off the video, but since you're already here, I take it you want to figure out, okay, what's really going on in this issue? What does Sean have to say about this particular comic book? So let's go ahead and get started. And again, this is written by Tom Taylor, who I've been critical of his Nightwing run as of late because it feels so low stakes. It feels like everything is wrapped up in a nice bow. There's hardly any tension, and stories just drag on, and then you get some kind of cringy bits sprinkled in throughout. Some nice moments here and there. I mean, it can be good, but it's also been kind of just like too much frosting, not enough cake, if that makes sense. So anyways, so the Titan that they tease is dying is, of course, Wally West. He's been shot, and pretty much Wally is supposedly dead by the end of this issue, which, why Wally? Why does it always have to be Wally West? We had to deal with Heroes in Crisis. People were mad about it. Wally West is the Titan that dies here. People are going to be mad about it if it actually sticks true. But then again, we're getting to the end of the Flash book, so it's like, oh, so Wally's just going to die now, and then we're going to have Barry take over or something else. I don't know, but Wally dying is just really kind of dumb. He has the best book going on right now out of the Titans. I mean, The Flash by Jeremy Adams has been so good, but sadly that's going to be coming to an end very soon. Like, why kick off Jeremy Adams from that book when that book is actually really good? It baffles me. I should also point out that in this issue, there's instances where the artwork actually looks really good, but then there's instances where it looks really bad, and you're going to see that when I flip to the next page over here. Okay, so you have Gar with some chick, and wait a minute, that's supposed to be Raven? Oh, man, Raven, what have they done to you? Yes, this is supposed to be Raven, one of my favorite characters in all of DC Comics, and they gave her that ugly-ass hairstyle. I mean, look at this. I mean, so Raven and Beast Boy are now a couple. We've established that in Teen Titans Academy. Never established how they got aged up, mind you. I guess we're just supposed to accept it. I know a lot of people know I don't like this relationship. I've never been a fan of it, even since I was younger. It's just Raven cannot escape Beast Boy wherever she goes. Like, it's like a plague to me personally. I understand it has its fans, so I'm going to try and be as fair as I can to it, but yeah, this is just not it. And also, Gar's eyes magically fixed, mind you. They say check out Tales of Teen Titans number 4, because of course there can't be lasting consequences from Dark Crisis. Like, the only thing that seems to last anymore is Alfred just being dead. Gar loses an eye. They don't kill him off, which they should have done in Dark Crisis to really add some stakes to that story. They should have just done that. Beast Boy and Cyborg were one person, which they fused together in Teen Titans Academy. Never explained how they're just separate separated again. So everything involving Beast Boy is always just brushed aside. And that really is starting to annoy me, because it's like, okay, you have something, at least commit to it. Like, okay, you have them fused together. Stupid idea. They just brush it aside. Beast Boy loses an eye in Dark Crisis. Would have been nice to actually have that feel like a lasting consequence of that event, where Gar just kind of has one eye and he has to kind of learn to deal with it. But no, we're just not, we're not going to acknowledge it. It's just, oh, his eye is just fixed magically. Go check out this other Tales of Teen Titans issue like several months from now just to accept it. But it's just so dumb. Like I can't stand it. And also Raven's design, my God, Raven's supposed to be one of the most beautiful women in all of comics, and they just make her look, it's a hideous design. Like, it's a hideous like hairstyle. Looks like Jinx from the Teen Titans cartoon. But anyway, so Nightwing is off recruiting different people to join his crew. So it's him and Donna Troy, and they're trying to get Garth. But Garth is like, nah, I'm working with somebody else. You're off on your own. So yes, already off to a great start with this team supposedly replacing the Justice League, mind you. And what kind of threats they deal with? Okay, oh, also, here's some cringe coming up here. So this is the big opening day, if you will. The whole world is watching them. Nightwing's like, well, I wasn't sure about your sleeping situation, Raven and Beast Boy, so I gave you both separate rooms. And Raven's like, no. We have to sleep together. Let me have a conversation with Gar, and let me make out with him in front of thousands of people. Because, yeah, that's a good idea with all your various supervillains watching, to kind of exploit that for future use. You can't be professional in front of the public. So, yes, now the world knows that Raven and Beast Boy are just making out in public, mind you, not keeping that side of it a secret. So now the enemies know to exploit that. Really, really dumb on their parts. And also look at Starfire's face right here. Like, that facial expression is just like a very sweet. Looks like she's like being forced to kind of say that. I don't know. It's just kind of some cringe right here. And then they're like, oh, we wouldn't have expected Raven to showcase any public display of affection. Ugh, just get this off here. And now it's going to be stuck with for the rest of this book. So yeah, Tom Taylor has this tendency to kind of have these moments. I remember back in DCeased where I got a bit of a laugh, but it was still really out of place when Damian and Cassie were just making out with the end of the world in front of everybody. It just felt really off and out of place, and that's the same thing here. I mean, they could have had a private conversation about this whole thing, but they just had to do it in front of like thousands of people. And it just feels really out of place for Raven to do something like that. I just don't see your character really doing that. But of course, we have to kind of have that in there. And then the Titans, who, mind you, are supposed to replace the Justice League, are off to fight a threat. And this is my favorite part of the issue. It's where they have to face off against Titano, and Gar morphs into something giant size. We get a kaiju fight in front of a nuclear reactor. Everything is kind of brushed aside rather quickly. And then Peacemaker shows up because he's got a popular TV show and he has to be in everything. And he's like, hey, why don't you work for the U.S. government, Titans? And the Titans are like, no, we're kind of off on our own. And really, it's just Amanda Waller and that's behind the scenes, because of course she is. And then of course they head back to Titan's Tower, and Wally West is supposedly dead. And then the next thing they tease is Brother Blood, and you have to solve the whole case. So yes, Wally is apparently dead now, which is stupid, because Wally actually has a good book and people are actually enjoying reading it. So of course DC has to kill him off. Somebody really doesn't like Wally West at DC in terms of editorial, and it just baffles my mind how Wally's the one that's constantly like given the shaft, despite when he has something really good going on with the Flash book. So we'll have to wait and see if this actually sticks. I don't personally think it will, so I'm feeling kind of nothing by the end of this particular issue. And of course, this is the team replacing the Justice League, and next up they're teasing Brother Blood. So they're really just going back through various Titans villains, not necessarily the Justice League ones, which I figured the team that's supposed to replace the Justice League would. So yeah, this particular issue wasn't really doing it for me. There are instances where the artwork looks nice. Like I said, when we get the giant kaiju fight, I think it looks pretty good. I like this design of Wally right here. I think like this stuff looks pretty good. Raven is done a huge disservice with this art style. I mean, she's supposed to be one of the most beautiful women in all of comics, and they just give her that hideous ass looking hairstyle, and it looks bad. And there's some real cringe between her and Beast Boy. I mean, like making out in public in front of thousands of people at Titan's Tower on this grand opening ceremony, it just feels really out of place and something that they wouldn't really do. But of course, you know, let's be honest, sometimes Tom Taylor isn't very good at writing relationships here. It just feels really out of place. So, I mean, if you're a Raven and Beast Boy shipper, so I'm sure you'll probably like that. But even then, part of you's got to be like, oh, come on, they really in front of public like that? I don't know. It just feels really out of place for me, and some kind of cringe going on there. And of course, Gar getting his eyesight back, it bothers me too, because of course we can't have lasting consequences with Dark Crisis. This is Dark Crisis. This is a crisis level threat. Why can't there be lasting stakes in it? It's just, it's annoying me at this point. That was such a meaningless event. It was just there to say, okay, Justice League, you're being pushed aside. We're going to let the Titans take the charge. And okay, I understand, like, the sidekicks kind of stepping up and taking over the mentors, but disbanding the Justice League after a crisis level threat, and this is the team that's supposed to do so, and they're not really off fighting Justice League level threats. They're fighting just random stuff. Okay, Titano and that stopping something, okay, that makes sense, but teasing Brother Blood next, that's a Titans villain. Where's the Justice League villains if this is the team that's supposed to replace them? What's going on here? So yeah, I'm not really overly enthusiastic about this thing. The story and setup wasn't all that interesting. It's just kind of opening day stuff. I thought we were already kind of getting teases of this in the Nightwing book, with the Titans just kind of brushing off everything in terms of Bloodhaven. So yeah, I guess they're in Bloodhaven now, is that right? Yeah. Everything just feels so low stakes and really kind of underwhelming. The only thing is just Wally dying, which nobody's going to be happy about that. I guess maybe if you're a Barry fan, but even then, if you're a Barry fan, you generally like Wally as well. So it's just not the best. Not the best particular start to this thing. I don't despise this issue by any means. I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever read, and it's not really like making me super angry or aggressive. Well, I mean, in some instances, I think it's deservedly so. I mean, that Raven design is just horrible. I mean, Raven, you poor girl. I'm so sorry that that's the design, the haircut they're giving you. My God, give Raven a better hairstyle. It's just really just kind of irritating. Like I said, the moment where they're like in front of thousands of people just making out spontaneously, it was just kind of cringe for me. Guard's eye just miraculously being healed. Yeah, they have one of those little editors now, so if you want to see how he got his eyesight back, check this out, because of course we can't have lasting consequences from Dark Crisis. So that was such a meaningless event, now that I think about it. Just you gotta at least let him keep the eye patch, or at least, like, we're never gonna get the answer to how he like separated from Cyborg and all that. Are they still kind of the same person? I don't exactly know. It doesn't really make much sense to me. They were both kind of like that. The Cyborg Beast Boy was a dumb idea in general, so they kind of just brushed that aside. But yeah, like I said, there's been things with these characters that just kind of irritated me, how like a lot of things just aren't explained that they kind of set up. How do the characters spontaneously age from their rebirth stage till like be adults again? Never explained. How did Beastborg, that actually sounds kind of cool. It sounds better than Cybeast. How did Beast Boy and Cyborg unfuse, if you will? Never explained. The eye thing, I'm sure they're going to explain, but why can't there be lasting consequences from Dark Crisis? This is supposed to be spinning out of the events of all the stuff that happened there. That would have at least been something kind of cool to see, like Gar with an eye patch. Yeah, have him kind of scarred and all that. But no, we just can't have that. All right, well, wasn't a huge fan of this issue. I'm curious to know what people are going to think about it in the comments section down below. I'm sure Wally fans are not going to be happy about it, given the fact that they're already like supposedly killing off Wally West within like the first issue or so. There's a lot of things to not like about the issue. There is some nice artwork, and there's a few moments that are kind of intriguing, like the stuff with Garth, Tempest, if you will, and why he said no to joining them. And plus, I got a giant kaiju fight, so that's something that I enjoyed, but it's not enough to really kind of like make me recommend this particular issue. So thoughts are kind of scattershot, but those are my opinions on this particular issue. So yeah, if you have any thoughts on it, like I said, let me know in the comments section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all that other fun stuff. I will be back later on today to cover some more DC comic book stuff, but I want to get Titans #1 out there since it is the big release of the week. And again, this is the team that's supposed to replace the Justice League, and it's not really starting off on a very high note, if you will. So I think it's time for new creative to kind of step in for the Nightwing related stuff. So, I mean, like I said, Tom Taylor can be very good. Like, he just did really good with DCeased #3, although there's still some lingering plot threads which we never got answers to, which still kind of irritate me. But I think for the most part, that was a successful series, but it still kind of had its problems. So we'll see if he's able to pick up the pace and make this storyline a little bit better. But as of right now, it's not off to a very strong start, in my humble opinion. So that's all I have to say. And be sure to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all other fun stuff. And like I said, I'll be back later on with more comic book reviews. All right, that's it. as always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.